Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you, everyone, to North Hills High School. My name is Patrick Weber. I'm an assistant principal here for grades 9 and 10. We have our building principal who's with us, Mrs. Beth Williams. She is here today as well as Mrs. Shannon Crombie, who is our other assistant principal who works primarily with grades 11 and 12. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. This presentation is being videotaped and recorded, so it will be available on the website. If you have any further questions that, oh shoot, I forgot that, or someone may not be able to make it today, we can point them in that direction so you don't have to feverishly take notes for someone or try to remember all the information. I have two other people to introduce to you in the back who are at our sign-in table. They are our counselors for grades 9 and 10, Mrs. Kathy Helfrich. She primarily deals with students with the last name A to L-I-O. And then Miss Weber is another 9 and 10th grade counselor who deals with anyone with L-I-P to Z. So those are our counselors, and you'll have them for 2 years. Miss Weber is no relation to myself, spelled the same. We get that question all the time. But we do work together with all the students as freshmen and sophomores. As you can see under the counselors, we are split up by grade level. There are two other counselors, Miss Heston and Mrs. Davis. They primarily work with grades 11 and 12, so you'll get to meet them once you move here throughout your high school years. And Dr. Barkovich, who is the Dean of Academic Affairs, handles some online academy in our A.W. Beatty Career Center, nuts and bolts, as you will, for his counseling aspect. So we'll just go over our agenda for today. We'll go over a lot of general information about the high school, go over some graduation requirements, curriculum, talk about your schedule, and what that looks like and how to read that, talk about expectations as you come to the high school here and becoming an adult learner. The other piece is North Hills High School is introducing Project Connect to our 9th grade students this year. If you are new to the district or new to, you're new to the high school obviously, but new to the district, Project Connect is our one-to-one initiative where all 9th graders will receive an iPad device with a keyboard to be used as a tool throughout the school year in various classes. And then at the end, we'll give you a chance to ask any questions that you may have. And we'll give you the opportunity about a half hour or so to tour the building, check out where your classes are going to be, and give you the lay of the land before you leave. So first thing, nuts and bolts instructional day. Here at the high school, the day starts at 7:20. Whether you ride the bus or get dropped off, you need to be in your homeroom by 7:20. Doors are open. First buses usually arrive around 6:50. And you will be able to get those times and your exact bus stops the week of August 7th from the transportation office. You'll enter the building. Your homeroom is your first period class. So wherever your first period class is on your schedule, that is also your homeroom. You're in the same room for an extended period of time. But you have to be there at 7:20. After that, every period is 40 minutes, along with a 30-minute lunch period. Lunches, we have 4 of them. They start at 10:30. I know, some people will say that's not really the lunch hour. But then our last lunch is at 12:45. So there's a long range in between there, just depending on how your schedule works. That will be your lunch period. In between classes, you have 4 minutes to get from one place to the other, point A to point B, and that's plenty of time. I know some of you might think that 4 minutes is not a lot of time, because some of your classes may be in the high school and you have to get to the 3rd floor, or in the middle school and you have to get to the 3rd floor, or you might have to get to the middle school and get to the ground floor. But our teachers are understanding as long as it's not consistent and you're getting there close to the bell. Breakfast is served in the morning from 6:55 to 7:15, and the school day is over at 2 o'clock. So dismissal is at 2, and you are free to go. Now, thinking about our building, it's large, but it's not overwhelming. And it's very easy to navigate once you understand a few things. So we'll give you the basics. There's 3 floors as well as the ground floor. So right now we're on the first floor. The ground floor is in the basement, really to where my back is. And that is where a lot of our technology education classrooms are located. So then there's the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor. Some main points of interest on the first floor. The main entrance is where Mrs. Williams is located. Her office is located to the left of the main entrance. To the right of the main entrance is the athletic and activities office. The nurse's office is actually sort of right outside the door here of the auditorium. The gym is where you are looking through that wall past the screen. The cafeteria is opposite of where we are. So those are the main things on the first floor. On the second floor, my office is on the second floor. Actually right across from the library. That's where our library is located. And we also have a unique set of classrooms up there in the rotunda on the second floor. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. I failed to mention that the CRC, which is very important, that's our Career Resource Center, or where our guidance counselors' offices are. That's on the first floor as well. When you come in the main entrance, if you would continue to go straight, right down the D hallway, it's on your left-hand side. Now, there are some health classes, world language, and family and consumer classrooms. Those are across the street in the LGI portion of the middle school. Yes, you do have to travel outside if you have classes over there. Yes, when it snows, you still have to go over there. Yes, when it rains, you still have to go there. So you're able to stay inside as much as you want, because there are doors out of the cafeteria that lead you that way. But unfortunately, if you have to make the trek over there, sometimes it does get cold up here on the hilltop. So thinking about the floor plan, we have 2 main hallways, A and B, and they run parallel. So if you look out this door, that's the A hallway. Okay, A is for front of the alphabet, that's front of the building. Okay, B is for back, and that's the back of the building. Okay, now there are connecting hallways that connect A and B. So, as I said, at the main entrance, that's the D hallway. The C hallway is further down close to the cafeteria. So C, cafeteria, that's where the C hallway is. The E hallway, okay, we're by the gym. So we're actually right behind you out those doors is the E hallway, but we're by the gym, so you think exercise. E for exercise, that's where the E hallway is. C for cafeteria. D is in the middle, so that's the middle of the building. The G would be, if you have anything on your schedule that has G, that's on the ground floor, and then R is the rotunda, which is on the second floor. That is unique, and it's above the cafeteria. It is a circular part of the building that's above the cafeteria. There's no third floor above that. Okay? Now, thinking of your schedule, and if most of you already have your schedule, or if you do not, then these are the requirements. A minimum of 7 credits are going to be scheduled for you. You will have the 4 main classes. You will have some English class. You will have a math class, Algebra 1, Geometry Honors, Algebra 2. You will have a science. Biology is our science in 9th grade. And then you also have a social studies class, which is American Studies for all of our freshman students. We want you to stay on pace because you need 24 credits to graduate and receive a diploma from North Hill School District. So at the end, your 12th grade year, you need to make sure that you have 24 credits. So you want to be able to be ahead of the game. So thinking if obviously if you schedule 7 each year, you'll be in good shape as long as you pass them. So those are some of the requirements. Thinking of this, English, math, and social studies, those are full year courses for you, so you'll have them all year. Our makeup here is not 4 9 weeks, we have 2 semesters. Okay? So, like I just stated, English, math, and social studies are full year courses. Your biology is a semester course. The reason for that is a double blocked course. So you will actually have it for 2 periods in 1 day for a whole entire semester, and then your schedule would change at the semester and you would have something to fill in that gap with electives. Okay? So biology you have for 80 minutes for 1 semester, not throughout the whole year. Now, Keystone exams. Keystone exams are mandated by the Department of Education, Pennsylvania Department of Education, and we have 3 areas of assessment. Okay, this is the PSSA, or a standardized assessment that has moved to the high school level. Algebra, biology, and literature are the 3 areas that are assessed, and you are mainly going to complete the test or the assessment after you finish that course. So, like we said, algebra, if you're enrolled in algebra, that's a full year course. You will take the standardized assessment in May of the end of the school year. Biology is a semester course. So if you have it semester 1, there is a testing window in January. So you would complete biology, take the test right away. Or if you have it semester 2, then you would test in May. Literature is something we don't really have to worry about right now because we do that at the end of your 10th grade English course. So you're not going to have that one on your plate until the following school year. Now, it is a graduation requirement by the state of Pennsylvania. You must demonstrate proficiency on all 3 exams to graduate. If you do not pass for some reason, any of the exams, you would be required to remediate, whether that's in a class or another method, and retested. So you must receive extra remediation and then retest if you do not pass. My advice to you is just pass them the first time. Put the work in, get it done, and then you have no worries to do that. Just a gauge of everyone, has anyone taken the Algebra Keystone that's... Okay, that's fine. So some of our middle school students have algebra in 7th or 8th grade, and they do take that. So I was just seeing if there was any... Yes, ma'am? Great question. So if they are scheduled to take that, they will be receiving, or what we have done is we will hand out a packet to review algebra. All right, but they are still required to take the Algebra Keystone, and they will take that in January. Okay. Now, when we give them a packet of information, it's pretty lengthy. If they have questions, ask their math teacher. I'm sure that throughout their geometry course, there might be a touch of algebra that they can review on. But they will be tested, although they're in that geometry course. They still have to be assessed. And they would do the biology and math in January. That could be a possibility, depending on when their biology class is, first semester or second semester. So, because unfortunately, we do have some students who, have both together. Sometimes it matches up where we have some 10th graders who might have to take all 3 at one time. So, unfortunately, that's just the way it falls. So, depending on biology, but algebra will definitely be in January. I'm sorry, I have one more thing on there. As a graduation requirement, and the state of Pennsylvania, they do mandate that we put them on the final transcript now, the scores of the Keystone exam. So starting with last year, our last year seniors, their best score on the Keystone exam is printed on their final transcript. What colleges do with them, that's their prerogative. I always advise the students, again, you want to be able to pass them. That way, that's a reflection of the type of student you are as well as part of that transcript with your grades. Okay, student schedules. I don't know, does anyone have a schedule in front of them? Okay, just a handful. So we're just going to wait on that because we are going to print schedules, and then we can revisit this at the end so we can sort of give you what that looks like. I have a picture on the next slide of a schedule that I can sort of talk you through for the first part. We will not print schedules, though. We use a school information system called PowerSchool. You will receive information on how to log in with login credentials, a username, a password. And that is really a parent's and a student's, I think, a big key to success because you're able to monitor everything online with grades, assignments that are coming up that are past due, that are not turned in. It will alert you for attendance, and we'll talk about that a little bit. It will alert you for if your grade has changed. If a teacher has put in an assignment and your grade went up, it's going to ding and it'll show green. If your grade goes down, it's going to show red. So it's a very useful tool for both the parent and the student to use. And we want you to log into that and be able to look at your schedule and really see everything that you have there. Your lockers. Okay, everyone is assigned a locker here at the high school to use. All 9th grade lockers are located on the 3rd floor. And we are still finalizing that process, so we're going to have a mid-August mailing that will be back to school from Mrs. Williams. So a lot of that information is going to be in that letter, so you'll just have to keep an eye out on for that. But your locker assignment and combination will be in that mailing. The other piece to that is, here at the high school, you are allowed to carry a backpack. So a lot of people, just depending on what their preference is, a lot of people might not visit their locker. Some people don't even know where their locker is. They just carry everything with them. But I would do, as a general rule of thumb, hopefully, if you find time in your day that you can visit either to drop off or pick up, then that's a pretty good thing to do. It just gets, I think, a little bit heavy. You're carrying a lot of stuff around, and makes it easier on you. And I know the 3rd floor that's just sort of the pecking order, I guess, because once you move through, then you're going to move through the 2nd floor, 1st floor with our older students. So this is just an example of a schedule, and I'll go through this brief because you don't have it in front of you, and then we could review it later. If you look on the left, that's going to be periods 1 through 9. Monday through Friday is in parentheses. The next column is term. So if you see S1, that's a semester 1 course. If you would see, you're not going to see S2 actually, because we're only going to print semester 1, not to confuse you. If you see 17, 18, that's a full year course. So as you can see, what we talked about are math and English and our social studies. The next column is going to say course or section. Nothing you need to really worry about there except for when it comes to lunch. So as you can see, I have a red box around there. It says lunch A. That's meaning your first semester lunch period. Up there it might look to you as a 6, but the section number for first semester lunch is 10, and then it's going to have a number after. It's either going to have 5, 6, 7, or 8. This one is 8. This student example is period 8 lunch. The other way we could tell that is over here. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's a gap on the very left-hand column, and then it gets to 9. Teacher name, and then at the very far right column, it tells you the room that class is located. Okay, so you could see that it first comes with a letter that's going to designate the hallway that the classroom's located. Then the first digit is going to give you the floor of where that class is located. Okay? So for example, if we're looking at health, the first period class, which would also be your home room, that room is M131. Does anyone know what M would stand for? Middle school, very good. So this student, their first period class in homeroom is at the middle school. Okay? All the middle school rooms are going to be 1 because they're all on the first floor. So M131. So if we skip down to third period, it says E219, E hallway, second floor. All right, that's going to help you navigate that. We'll go over that once you have a schedule in front of you to help you out with that. Now, talking about attendance. Attendance is very imperative to your learning and your success. It's important that you're here. Okay? If you're not here, then you're not able to work to your full potential, and you are not able to get the most out of your high school experience. All right? In PowerSchool, attendance is taken every period. So when you go from homeroom in first period, when you go to second period, the teacher takes attendance. When you go to third period, the teacher takes attendance. So we could track you throughout the day. Also, for the parents, it will ding, even though you might say, I know that they're right next to me. The teacher is going to mark them absent because we need to know that they are absent from school. If you do have to miss, we need to make sure that those absences are sent, or when you return, are sent in with an excuse. There are excused absences, and some of the reasons are up there. That's also on our website under our student handbook. Obviously, if you're sick, you have a death in the family, something along those lines. But that needs to be a written note. It's not really accepted electronically. Or if you call in and say, John is not going to be in school today, that does not suffice as his excuse of missing. Whenever they come back, then they need to bring in a written excuse. If for some reason you are going to miss lengthier amount of time, if you have a trip, because this happens, that needs to be approved by one of the principals. We like to have that 2 weeks in advance because we like to give the teachers notification that someone's going to be out. So just an example, someone has a vacation in October. They're going to miss 5 days of school. You are going to either obtain a form from the website under the high school communications page, or you are going to stop into one of the principal's offices and get one of those forms to fill out. Once that comes back to the office, then we send out a notification to the teachers so that you can actually get them to sign off so they know that you're not going to be there. And the other part of attendance is the district approved. So if you're on a field trip with a class, or you're on a sporting team and have an early dismissal, those things are all excused absences. Attendance is taken very seriously. There's a new truancy mandate by Allegheny County District Attorney that is monitored every week by myself, Mrs. Crombie, for grades 11 to 12. We'll sit down with the counselors. And we look at all of the students who may have attendance issues or problems. Something that we would communicate, or the counselors may have communicated with the parents, so I might not know, but that's why we sit together and collaborate. It's important that you're at school. That's the main point. If you are racking up unexcused absences, there is a process that we go through. A phone call home, written notification, possibly to there's programs that Allegheny County has a focus on attendance, and there's also the last step where, we would have to file truancy charges against you at the local magistrate. So it is important that you're at school. And I'm not trying to scare you by any means, but it's important that you're here. It's vital that you're getting the information, and you need to be here at school to do that. Just a few expectations. I think everyone can read those. It's important. When you're here to do a job. It is your job. Okay, you might have another job, but this is your job during the school year. Academics, respecting the school, respecting yourself, respecting others, and being safe while you're here. You're here for academics. You're here to have a good time and be involved in extracurricular activities, athletics along those lines, but we want the expectations to be high, and we want to make sure that you are aware of them. Okay, some of you I'm sure, are different levels of responsibility, but as you enter high school, we want you to become an adult learner. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, that means you need to take responsibility, take ownership of your actions, what you do. Okay? Make a schedule. Do you have a schedule? What time do you get up? Do you eat breakfast? What's your schedule going to look like for the school year? Those are all things that you need to think of. Okay? How do I keep track of my assignments? Tests. Okay? Well, I can tell you how I keep track of my stuff. I mean, I have an iPhone. I put everything in that calendar. I have one that has my family calendar, and I have another calendar that has everything here at school. Because if not, I would be lost without it. So do you write it down? Okay? You're going to have an iPad at your fingertips. Utilize that calendar. Okay? Put things in there. That's a useful tool for you. The other big thing is, although we want you to be very responsible, there are things and questions and concerns that may come up. You need to be able to ask questions. All right? You need to advocate for yourself. All right? Ask an adult. Okay, what, Mrs. Williams, 140 staff members? Okay, 150 staff members. 3 administrators in the building. Okay? That's a lot of people that you can ask for help. So it's never a dumb question. Okay? If you need help, then you just need to ask. And that's important. Okay? Ask your teachers, talk to them. All right? Talk to us. Okay? You're more than welcome to approach us at any time. I know people don't really want to say that they're in the principal's office, but you need to understand that we're open to anything, and you're more than welcome to come in. And our secretaries are very helpful. So the other part of North Hills is get involved. You know, we have the academic piece, which is very strong. We pride ourselves on a lot of different academic programs. But the other part is get involved in activities. Athletics, clubs, go to dances. There's events all the time. As a 9th grader, and for everyone, we will have an activity fair about the first or second week of school. All the club sponsors will have information on what that looks like. Meetings, who the sponsor is, how you can get involved, what type of work they do. So it's important that you check it out. Give you some people to have a common, a commonality with. The last bullet, I have dances and social events. As a 9th grader, you're able to attend 2 dances on your own with a date with friends. The other 2, you would have to be asked by an upperclassman to attend those. But we have the homecoming dance in October that it's open to everyone in grades 9 to 12. And then we also have the 9-10 semi-formal, which is in February. So those are the 2 dances that you are able to attend. The junior prom and the senior prom, like I said, someone would have to ask you to be a part of that event. But those are things that are important to the high school experience as well. These are resources for everyone here, both parents and students. The North Hills School District website, nhsd.net, has general information, contact information, all the links. The first bullet is PowerSchool. It's important that you're able to access that. If you try to access it right now, it's going to say that it's disabled because we're still finalizing schedules, and it's not turned on for parent access or student access at this point. That will probably be mid-August. And then social media. Okay, North Hills School District, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram page. They have a lot of reminders and upcoming events that are posted there through the office of the director of our communication. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Williams, who's going to talk a little more at length about Project Connect and the iPad initiative that is coming to the high school, which we're thrilled about. We're really excited that technology can be another tool to our students to utilize and facilitate their learning in different methods.
Mr. Weber just threw a whole lot of information at all of you. So let me make you a couple of promises. Promise number one, we are going to take very good care of your children. We understand that they are your most valuable resource and asset. We have a phenomenal staff here, so please do not hesitate to pick up the phone and call us. Students, I can't stress that enough. I know it is not cool to hang out with the principal. I get that, but our door is always open. So if you need something, step through that door and come see us so we can help you in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's I can't read my schedule, to my class is too hard, to I can't get my homework done, I'm in a fight with my best friend, I need help. Okay? That's what we are here to do. Number two, your experience as students, it's about choices in how you choose to set up your day. Are you going to set up a schedule? Are you going to develop study skills if you don't already have them, which I'm assuming most of you do? How am I going to prioritize? What effort am I going to put into this? How am I going to get involved with my peers, make friends, clubs and activities? It's about those choices, and there's a lot of choices in this building. We take great pride in that. So all of those situations and all of those things are something that we are very passionate about and we are very committed to. The third promise that I want to make you, you want to download the PowerSchool app. And if you don't have information on that, you need to let us know at the end of this so we can start getting you that, because if you are new to the district, we need to set up a PowerSchool account for you and get you that information. The good news is we have schedules for you today because you're new to us, so we will have a printed schedule for you today, which I would urge you to hold on to for the first day of school. Just in the event that there's something funny with your PowerSchool app where it takes us a couple of days to get that turned on for you, I want you to have that paper schedule to alleviate stress and anxiety. You want the PowerSchool app. Students, you want it because you're going to be, some of our teachers will put in, here's assignments coming up in the next 2 weeks. You've got a test 3 weeks from now, so you can start prioritizing and scheduling what your life's going to look like. Parents, you want that because you get information about your child's attendance and their grades in real time. Real time. So that is very, very beneficial for you in the event that you want to see they studied really hard for a test. I want to know how they did. I'm really anxious to see. You can have that information in real time. No attendance. We take attendance every single period. You will see that go on your PowerSchool app. Just know sometimes kids do come to class late with passes. So if you look at that attendance and you know you dropped them off at 7:30 and oh my goodness, at 7:35 it says they're late, they might be at a club meeting, they might just show up to class late. Okay? Because parents get very, very anxious. I know my kid's supposed to be there and all of a sudden now I'm seeing that they're absent. That's a concern. Pick up the phone and call us. We will track your child down, but I guarantee you they're here unless they've made a different choice not to remain here with us. So please get the PowerSchool app. You can easily download that. If you need that information, please let us know so we can make sure we can facilitate that request for you because it's great to have. So Project Connect. Not sure how much you know about this. This is our technology initiative, one-to-one technology initiative that actually started in grades 6, 7, and 8, where last year we gave every student an iPad device to use to help their learning. This year it is bumped up to the high school, and now every freshman will receive a one-to-one iPad. They will not receive that device until approximately September 14th. And the reason I can be so specific on the date is because we have a drop add period here. Let's say you start your schedule, you get in there and you say, look, I'm really not in the right class. This class is way too hard for me. Or I've decided I really need a study hall. I'm carrying 7.5 credits. I need a study hall. I'd like to drop this elective. You have the first 10 days of the school year to do that. So we don't want to hand out devices and not know where you're exactly at. We want your schedules pretty much finalized and situated in case there's any changes. So on September 14th, every freshman will receive an iPad through their social studies class because you all take social studies. But in order for us to do this, we want you to understand what our thought process is behind this. Why is our district invested so much time, money, and effort and resources into this? And it's because our job, particularly here at the high school, is to prepare your child to be college and career ready. We're preparing your sons and daughters for careers, quite frankly, and majors they don't even exist yet. Because technology is changing so quickly out in the world, it has completely changed the way we do our jobs here, and most everybody else does their job. So it's very important for us to go ahead and provide your son or daughter with that experience. We also want to make sure that we're incorporating, to me, the 4 C's down at the bottom. Creativity, collaboration, communication, and creative thinking. So when we talk about providing students with college and career readiness, we've got a great curriculum. We've got great classes. We've got great teachers. We are going to give you that robust teaching and learning experience here. The other part that we hear about from colleges and business and industry out there is kids today don't have these skills. Soft skills. It's tough for them to collaborate with other people. It's tough if I give them a project that they're able to think outside the box and do these things. It's tough if they don't have that creative streak. So we want to provide that experience here, and this device, an iPad, is another tool that we can provide our students with to enhance their teaching and their learning. So that is the process with regard to that. Also, it allows us to personalize and differentiate our instruction. Instead of always giving a student that standard traditional test, fill in the blank, fill in the bubble, it's a Scantron, kids can show us what they know through technology. There's a lot of different ways that they can show us that they have acquired the knowledge and skills that we need them to acquire in order to be successful in life. So it allows us to give more student choice. For your son or daughter to receive their iPad on September 14th, there is very specific paperwork that must be submitted. This information, if you go to www.nhsd.net, school district website, and you choose under schools, North Hills High School, Patrick, actually, can you get that?
Sure.
It's going to come up and tell you what the paperwork is. Last year, it was paper forms, and we asked everyone in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade to fill out the paperwork and give it to us. We have tried to simplify that for you this year, and we have basically made it electronic. So again, if you go to the website and you read about Project Connect, it will tell you exactly what you need. We need to have an iPad user and loan agreement. We need to have the student-parent responsible use agreement. I understand that when I'm in school, I need to be using this device appropriately and things such as that. The acceptable use policy. This is how I'm going to use the device. Tracking the mobile devices. So again, knowing that we're tracking it, because believe it or not, we've had kids who've forgotten iPads in the school bus. It's nice to know where that iPad's traveling to next, so we're able to obviously get it back to its owner. And then the last piece that we need is there is insurance that is offered to you as a parent that you can place on this device if you choose to accept it. You do not have to get the insurance. I believe it's like a $25 deductible. I believe that's what it is. But one way or the other, you either have to accept the insurance or decline it. You can't just skip it. That information must be taken care of prior to me being able to release an iPad. So if you go to the website, the documentation is here. We have actually set our library up today with the system logged in, ready to go in case you want to print it out and take it with you, you may. Or if you want to go online and go ahead and do that today, completely up to you. So you can walk out of here in hand saying, look, that's a lot of information. Can I just have the packet and read it at home? It's available for you to print upstairs, okay?
If you want to talk about electronic, it's here.
Sure. This is the electronic submission form. So if you do it online, if you go out to the website and you see it, basically what it is, it's for all 7th, 8th, and 9th grade parents. We're asking you for your name, your student's name, and then it just goes through a series of questions. This is basically what every single thing. I read this, I agree to this. I read this, I agree to it. We're going to ask you to do that, and then you're done. Except for the insurance piece. That you have to go to a different website to get. Okay? You want to flip it forward? Thank you.
Yep.
iPads here at the high school are not foreign concepts to us. We have iPad carts throughout the building already because they're embedded in a lot of our classes with regard to the curriculum. So there is usage for the students here. So this transition was a pretty simple and easy transition for us. We already had a lot of carts. Teachers and students were using them every single day, so it made sense. Let's just give them to them and let them have them all the time with regard to that. We definitely want to make sure that the students are using this, as it says there, as a personal learning studio. We want students to be able to, again, go back to those 4 C's: collaborate, critically think, be creative, and communicate using these different things. So every single content area at the high school last year began professional development with this, and they selected apps that will already be loaded onto your child's iPad that will be used in their classroom to support their learning experience and support the curriculum. So they're already on there ready to go. So when your students get their iPad, there's going to be apps on there that they're going to be using in English class. There's going to be apps that they're going to be using in math class. There's going to be some apps in science class. There's going to be apps in social studies. Those are all there. The high school students, you're a little luckier in the sense than the middle school. You get a keyboard. You have a protective case with it, and it has a snap-in keyboard. So you have a keyboard with that. So if you're in English class and you want to type, you want to take notes in one of your classes, you want to do things, you have a keyboard with it. Middle school does not get that option. So you'll get the laptop, protective case, keyboard, and then you'll get 2 chargers. One charger for the iPad itself, one charger for the keyboard. Okay? So we will give all of that material out to you here at school. And again, the learning world of the iPad is making sure that we are allowing you to learn in a wide variety of methodology. Whether you're practicing, you're going home and you're practicing different skills because of the different apps that you can utilize because you want to grow and continue to acquire that set of skills that you need. Whether it's collaborate. Hey, look, I need to work on this paper. I need to put this in Google Drive because I need it on a Google Doc because we have this project and we don't have any time to get together. He's got basketball practice, I work a job. How are we going to get together? We don't have time at school. Oh, guess what? We can go out onto Google Drive, and we can still accomplish this task using this feature. Teaching someone else. Okay, a lot of project-based learning will become a part of our curriculum because of this iPad and the ability to teach others, to work with others, to share those soft skills, to share that robust curriculum and your knowledge and things such as that. Testing yourself. Okay, there are review games on there that we will ask you to go ahead and participate. Flashcards, different things to prepare you for a test, study guides, things such as that. And last but not least, sometimes not kids and even adults' favorite thing. It allows you to go ahead and get things wrong. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay that you don't understand something because that's oftentimes where the strongest, most relevant learning takes place, is when you make that mistake. And these allow you to make that mistake in an app, in an assignment, in a safe environment that you then learn and grow from. Not just the content, but you learn as a person how to be resilient and get back up after you've maybe not done your best, after you've made a mistake, after you've had a stumble. So it's very important to us to be able to use the iPad in a variety of ways. Some of the different apps that you're going to be seeing, again, Google Drive, Notability, iBooks. There's a bunch that we're going to use. Again, our staff has already kind of picked those out for you based on the content and things such as that. This is new to them too. They've had iPads for a long time here, and they've used them, but not every student in front of them has had an iPad. So they're learning. Probably y'all can probably teach us some tricks, quite frankly, with your tech skills as it goes with millennials, but they're learning with you. So no one is expecting to hand an iPad to you and say, okay, we need you to go ahead and we need you to go create a new app. It's not going to work that way. Okay? This is to enhance your learning. Some days you'll use it in every single class. Some days you may only use it in 2 or 3 classes. This device does not replace fantastic instruction. It simply enhances that instruction in your learning.
Let's back to that.
Okay, so we went ahead and we printed schedules for those of you guys that don't have schedules. I think Mrs. Crombie has them. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you those schedules and we'll take you through trying to read them again. So when you go on the self-guided tour, you'll be okay. We have some wonderful high school students who are kind enough to
So there's only 4 that need them. 4 that need them.
Tour guides, they're going to be out on the different floors. So if you have any questions, I cannot find this mall. I have no idea where this classroom is. They're going to take really good care of you. They also remember what it was like to be an 8th grader transferring into this building. So they probably can anticipate most of what your questions are going to be. Mr. Weber, myself, Mrs. Crombie, Mrs. Helfrich, I think she's in the CRC, and Mrs. Weber, we're all here for questions. So if you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to come down and see us and say, I really need to talk to you about it. Okay, because that's what we're here for today. Project Connect information. Did any of you get that at all in the mail, anything like that? Okay. So you signed in. Did everyone here sign in when they came in? If you did not, I will need you to sign in, either with myself or Mrs. Crombie, so we can get you that Project Connect information. Because it will literally tell you how to download the app, and then we need to make sure we get you your username and your information.
It's PowerSchool? Are you talking PowerSchool?
What am I saying?
You're talking PowerSchool Project Connect. That's it.
PowerSchool. We need to get you PowerSchool information. I'm so sorry. So we can get you how to download that app and get your account cranked out. Because again, in about 2 weeks, that's where your summer daughter's schedule is going to pop, and you're going to want that information. Okay? But this schedule, don't lose. Because if you like the good old-fashioned paper one, this is the good old-fashioned paper.
Is there any? We have only 4 people that signed in that said they needed a schedule. Is there more people than that in this room that need their schedule? Okay. So we just need to, if we still need to print your schedule, we could do that.
Why don't you take the people that need a schedule to CRC or to my office? Let's get that schedule. We can do it. Here's how you read the schedule with that group, disseminate these, and then we can get everybody.
I have Jade, Haley, Elizabeth, and Stella. Those are 4 schedules that I have right now. If you do not have a schedule, then you can follow Mrs. Crombie, and she's going to get one printed for you and review what we're going to review here.
If you need your schedule and Mr. Weber has it, come on down front.
If you already have a schedule, if you could move down front and we could go over how to read it really quickly, and then we'll send you on our way.